Hi you guys, it's Melissa. I'm doing a tutorial for you today. I've had some requests for a tutorial on the fabric rose that I made for Bonas Le Romantic page swap, and I'm getting around to doing that right now. I promised my daughter Olivia that I would call this the Olivia Rose, which I actually think it looks like an Olivia Rose, so that's what I'm going to refer to it as. So here we go. I have a couple samples here for you. These I actually made using ribbon. So if you don't have any of the fabric that people use to make, you know, the lollipop flowers, you can also use ribbon as long as it's wide enough. On this flower, the ribbon I used is about 1.5 inches in width, and I used about 18 to 20 inches in length. And then the same with this rose. The ribbon is about 1.5 inches in width. So these are a little bit smaller if you use the ribbon, as opposed to if you use the fabric, you can cut it wider if you want the flower to be bigger. But to start off, what you're going to need is some of this bouncy string. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but you can get it in the sewing section. And this is what, you know, makes the pleats in the rose. So what you'll need is this bouncy string. I'm so sorry, I don't know what it's called. And you'll need a sewing needle. You'll need something for your flower for the center. You'll need a circle, you know, to put glue the flower to. And if you don't want your string to be white, I would suggest coloring it with, I just used my Copic. I've got like 3 Copics. I've got pink, green, and black. So I just used my pink Copic to color this string so that it would match. And what I do is I cut about, in the fabric that I use, the same kind of fabric for making the lollipop flowers, I cut it in width, just around 2 inches in width. Like I said, you can make it wider or smaller. And let's see, I've got about 21 inches here, and on both ends I cut it into a V on both ends, just so that when I'm sewing it, because I'm going to do a single running stitch, the ends will, you know, look like they kind of, you know, go into the flower instead of just being a chopped end. So this part is really simple. You just want to thread your needle, and with this really thin string, I double it, and I don't even tie it at the end. I just have it doubled. And at the beginning of my fabric, I put the points together, and that's where I start. And then I just do a running stitch. Sorry guys, I'm so bad at sewing. Like, anytime I see something that involves sewing, I don't do it. But this one, I saw Arlene doing a running stitch, and I thought, oh, I can do that. So anyways, you do the entire length of your either your ribbon or your fabric, depending on what you use. And sorry, when you pull it, you want to get it to about 4 inches or so, and you want it to be about this taut, so that it's got the pleats in it, but it's not, you know, really tight. So I'm really no good at doing this, So I have already made one. And this is what it's going to look like when you're finished. Okay? And I don't have anything tied off yet. I just went ahead and sewed the length here. And I just have it pulled so that it looks like this. And it's going to kind of swirl all on its own. Check my time. Okay. So I'm going to take, hey Brandon, no. I actually cut this circle out. I have like a 1-inch circle punch, but it's just not big enough for these flowers. So I'm going to pull the side with the needle all the way through. So now see what I meant about it being pointed at the end? It's nice and round. It's not just one chop, you know, cut off. So anyways, I'm going to put some glue on the bottom part. And then I have another little piece of paper that I'm just going to cover it so that it'll stay. And then cut the string. So now my fabric is stuck to this little circle. And then I'm going to take my button, put glue, oops. I'm going to put quite a bit of glue on it because before it starts drying, I'm going to start winding this around underneath it so that it'll stay under it. So I'm just going to kind of allow the fabric to do its job and continue to glue under the fabric and pull this underneath, ow, to cut it, or to start forming the rose. And you know, you don't have to cover it in glue because it's gonna form the flower pretty well on its own. So you just need to make sure that there's enough glue for it to stay and not come unwound. But really, it's gonna do this on its own, and it's really simple once you get the sewing part done. I don't know, I'm kind of like, I don't know why I'm so nervous about doing this on camera. Like, I'm all nervous. So anyways, you should tie the end here. Just tie the end and then complete your flower. And there you go. You've got your Olivia Rose. It's very easy, but very pretty. And you can, of course, do, you know, any kind of embellishment you want. You can put the feathers underneath it, or the sequins, or whatever you would like. So, there you go, guys. There's my Olivia Rose tutorial, my very first tutorial. Oh, and I wanted to show you my new lighter for singeing my fabric. How's that? Pretty awesome. It already needs more butane, but I liked it. Pretty cool. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.